any grown-up person, any person that has attained the level of responsibility, I'm not too sure there will be too many of them who will be happy about the situation in Nigeria today. So I'm not happy because that's what your question leads to. I'm not happy, but again, when there's life, there's hope. With God Almighty, anything is possible. It may take some time. It's just like the situation we are. The military went in, took over government from elected people, did few things. Another group of people came, sent them out, brought another set of people. We're changing government like we are changing handkerchiefs. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I think the best government can do is to take firm decision after proper investigation must have been carried out. And if actually it did it, then let the law follow its course. It's a shame. It's unfortunate. It's embarrassing. It's using the protection of country in the process of his profession to protect his criminal activity. In other words, and the state, unknowingly thinking he's an honest man, is paying him for disobeying the state.
Well, it's another very wonderful, lovely day in the city of Abuja, Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria, West Africa, as we meet an elder statesman, a great man, a man of impeccable achievement, a man who has paid his dues in the last 5 decades to the body of politics, to the body of law, and to the body of general social development in Nigeria, a former military administrator of the old Oyo State in western Nigeria, a former minister of police affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a member of a leading party, the People Democratic Party in Nigeria, a father, a mentor, and an innovator in the person of our father, elder statesman, General David MEDAYESE Jemibewon. Well, because we needed to get 1 or 2 opinions about the nation, and we've been trying to reach out to him in the last 2-3 months, but he was out of the country to celebrate with his daughter in the United Kingdom, and he was busy with other activities, both local and international. And today, by the special grace of God, today, Thursday, 24th of February, year 2022, his aide have been able to make it work for us to meet this great man in his home somewhere in central Abuja, and we're very privileged to be in his presence now. So, Daddy, I want to say Happy New Year, sir. How did you start the year? And let's just say Happy New Year to you. And how is 2022 doing you, sir, right now, sir?
Thank you very much. We thank God that we're alive. Things have not been easy. It's, as a matter of fact, it's because of my knowledge of you. You work hard with your team. That's why I've given you this time. Otherwise, I will not have had time at all.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you.
First, health-wise, I'm not doing too well, but I'm grateful to Almighty God. And secondly, I've just lost the last born of my parents, and is a lady. She died a few days ago.
I heard it that Miss Janet Owadokun, very wonderful lady, known all over Iyagbede there and Kogi State. So how did you feel when I heard that? Was I have to call yesterday to your aide and say we should come and greet you first, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm just trying to explain that ordinarily I wouldn't have granted you this audience, but I know you meant well, and so thank you for coming. Yes, we've started the year. It hasn't been too bright, but again, we hope that God, in His kindness, will take care of His own people. And so I welcome you. Thank you very much.
A lot of people, because you see, why we came looking for you is that Yoruba will say, meaning that if the elders are in town, things should not go astray, and they are likening it to the head of the baby at the back of the mother, that you will always correct the mother that the head of your child is dragging down. So we look at the country and we want to ask the general, as an elder statesman, as one of the founders of this nation, people who saw the future and who started doing things in alignment with what the future desire. Are you happy with the way the country is right now, sir? With total honor, sir.
Certainly, any grown-up person, any person that has attained the level of responsibility, I'm not too sure there'll be too many of them who will be happy about the situation in Nigeria today. So I'm not happy, because that's what your question leads to. I'm not happy, but again, when there's life, there's hope. With God Almighty, anything is possible. It may take some time. So we are just looking up to God to bring peace to our country. But certainly, I'm not happy, and I want to believe not too many people are happy.
Let me even ask you that. If it will have been General Jemibewon that was the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria right now, if Providence has put you there to be the leader of this great country, how do you think you will have been able to do it in a different way, to be total honor, sir?
It's a very difficult question, but I can understand it in the sense that you base your question on scale of probability. It won't happen anyway. So on the basis of that, I'll attempt to answer the question. First, of course, if I had the opportunity of thinking before getting there, if I were to get there, although I don't pray to get there, but if I had the opportunity of thinking before getting there, there must have been reasons why I felt I want to get there. And one of the bases cannot be an objective to fail when I get there. And so if I see that things that make people come to a judgment or a conclusion that something is wrong with me on the negative, and that what I'm doing seems to be negative or the word I wanted to use had escaped me.
Antitesimal or something like that.
Anyway, that what I want to do, I against the principle that pushed me to be in that position, then I think the best thing is either to resign.
Can you resign? Any politician will not.
I say, that's why I couldn't say it straight away. But first of all, if a man is in a position, I want to believe he will have means by which some people will be telling him that we don't think this is right. And if what they think is not right, they tell you, and you don't do something about it, then you are limiting those who can advise you. And by the time you limit the people who can advise you, the diversity of your source of advice, then you are on a lone track. So I don't know how to really answer your question, but situation could be better than it is right now.
But let me ask you this: that in your time when you are growing, what kind of Nigeria did you look up to? Because at the age of 29, 30, you are already an administrator in Milad, and you are controlling a state of, let's say, at least 1 million plus people then. And for you to run that state, or your state, your state, for 3 years, and you brought innovation to the state, you built bridges, you even started the Federal Road Safety Corps, which was a state road safety corps in those days. You started all those things. So what was the Nigeria of your dream that you desire, and you and how do you feel? Have you gotten it now, or it's still a failure?
No, certainly the Nigeria of my dream, we are far from it. When I look back now, I see that I've attempted, or rather, I have performed a lot of experiments. There was a time, for example, I thought that it should be possible for anybody to travel in the night in this country without any molestation. Now, if you cannot travel in the afternoon, it would be dangerous to venture into traveling in the night. So that's
a lost result.
That's right. Now, it goes on and on and on. And again, in fact, on business, I was hoping that after leaving the army, I should be able to do something to sustain myself and my family and be of some value to the environment in which I live. So I made a lot of experiments, and till today, we continue to be experimenting. So one is not terribly happy. There was a time I thought, even this Abuja, we could run some form of dignified transportation for a certain class of people. Not that they don't have the means of, buying the cars they want, but they want to sit down, feel comfortable, go on weekend tours. But a lot of us can't leave our homes now. Apart from the fact that in terms of transportation, everything is in a mess. So, and I want to believe that many people will be feeling the same way I feel. I don't know whether that has answered it. Some of it.
I want to ask you, because I know that you travel most of the times. When you travel on the road, what did you see on the road of Nigeria? I mean, when you're traveling with your aides, I know you're a soldier, you're a retired army general, but what did you see? And will you say you are comfortable to have your children live in this kind of society in the next 10, 20 years with what you are seeing on the road? Did you ever have a fear?
Oh, of course. But we will continue to pray that the situation will improve. But certainly, it's not just my children, even myself. I want a situation where I will travel in comfort, believe that I will reach where I'm going safely and comfortably. I want to be able to sit here and ask my children to come and see me from Lagos, to come and see me in Abuja. But now I wouldn't do that. Or to come to my village and drive from the village to Abuja. But I wouldn't do that now. If people are just being sort of, being, people are just being grabbed on the highway,
They kidnap them for money.
Kidnap is the word I wanted to use. People who just been kidnapped. If a man has an accident and is dead, it's understood. But I just heard that between Abuja and Kaba, they can't find the general. That is not too good. So we never.
General went missing in action. When General Mohammed was alive, God bless his soul, one day I asked him, it was long ago, I think like 4 years or 5 or 6 years ago, I asked him, why are you not jogging again? You live in is in Metama, in Asokoro. He lives there. And I said, why you not jogging? He said, because of kidnappers. I'm supposed to jog in the morning again.
So this is the problem, yes. Yes.
And when you see that kind of problem, how does it make you feel as a nationalist?
Of course, it makes me feel bad because it's not a means for development for a country. When people can't move, then business too can't move because people are the instrument for dispersing development. And when you are scared, afraid of going to a place, then it limits your scope of movement. Yes.
At this age, did you notice how often do people come to beg you for help, maybe for money?
That one is unlimited. A lot of people will, in fact, you don't know them, they send you text, and the first thing they just said, tell you a little bit of story, those who are still reasonable and can consider, but otherwise they don't even tell you anything at all. And then they give you account number. You don't know who they are. They don't even express any sanitation. But they must be desperate. There's no doubt about that. So I have sympathy for them. But is that, what do you want to say? The person is to keep quiet. Are you now going to reply that I don't have? But if you keep quiet, it doesn't get any reply from you. You will assume that this man is not to reply.
But in the case that you want to give them, do you have the means to even give them? Maybe, okay, take 5,000, take 3,000.
Usually, they put the account number. And so you go. When it first started, one didn't know that it was going to become a culture of demand. So in fact, this week, I can show you the paper. I just sat down here and somebody phoned me that the secretary to government,
So Boss Mustafa?
Yes, wants me to get in touch with him. I said, what for? He said, I should try and call him first. Otherwise, if I call him, he may not pick the phone. That they want to send me a jeep, but they want to know the address to send it to. So I was wondering, and you know what? That he would want me to send 250,000.
The Boss Mustafa wants you to send 250,000 to him. They assume Boss Mustafa.
Yes.
250,000 before the jeep comes.
No. The person who phoned claimed to be secretary
No.
to
The government of the federation.
no, that he is secretary to the secretary. Okay.
Secretary to Mr. Boss Mustafa.
Exactly. And that it is his own responsibility now to make sure that the jeep gets to me. And that for it to be possible, I need to send 250,000. Okay. And anyway, initially I didn't get it, but it has happened before. Only the style is different. So I started giving it a thought. And I did call few people to see, this is what. And I started, by the time God gave me the opportunity to be able to think deeply, because I wasn't feeling fine, I started thinking, Secretary of Government. He might not, I don't know him. And so, if they had to give me something like that, it must have been the president. And if the president is to organize something like that, it can't be for me alone. It must be people within my category, that is to say, retired general or something, or somebody who has done something spectacular for which they want to say we acknowledge. Okay, I can't be the only one. There are better people than me. There are people that are better than too. So I said, what could I have done?
To warrant a gift of Jeep.
Yes, right.
A brand new Prado Jeep.
Yeah, at this time. So
and you have to even pay 250 to get the Jeep.
Exactly. Then I told him that first, I thank him, but in the meantime, I don't think I have even 250 cover. Not to talk of 250,000. And that since he was sent to me, he should deliver my message to the source of instruction to him, to say that if a precondition to the gift of a jeep is 250,000, they can leave it, because I will need the 250,000 for something more important, because I have about 2 or 3 jeeps, so I don't need any other jeep. And then I told him, look, you are a secretary, that they could send you this message to me. If you are really reliable to those people, you should be able to go back to tell them that the general says he has no money. And that I then told him there's a proverb in Yoruba, Agbatonla Ngbole. Baba Fulu Aso Fifun Akwalaru. So if they really want to give me a jeep, let them give me a jeep.
Without condition?
Yes. So it's okay. So later, few hours after that, he called again. That, okay, that he got what I said. If I can just send, he will look for 150,000, and I should just send 100 to make it 250. I told him I remain where I stood. He should forget it. Okay? And I told him I don't intend reporting him. I don't, otherwise, ordinarily I would have reported him that. I would have reported him. But I was not going to report him. That's how we ended. So, the fraud around today, I just can't believe it.
Can you imagine? He wanted to scam a whole general, a retired general, a former adjutant general of the Nigerian army, a man of intelligence, a lawyer like you.
And Minister of Police Affairs?
Of course, police affairs. We have to do intelligence and security. So I'm wondering, how did he get the courage?
So this is it. So when you were asking me whether I'm happy about the country and so on, certainly there's not much to be happy with in our country, but we must continue to pray.
That kind of phone number that called you and started calling himself secretary to the secretary of the government, secretary to Boss Mustafa, that you need a jeep. You should have been even got the number and just even spill it out.
You know, first, I'm not perfect, but I credit myself as somebody who is detailed. So I have all those things you just mentioned. I have the name, I have the telephone number,
Yes, that's it.
take it. Go to my bed. You will see an envelope there where Mustafa something is written, telephone number. I think a few days ago, it's one of you who. Anyway, go to my bed. It's an envelope, a rough envelope. Bring it. So that is it. Maybe you want to ask another question.
It's quite unfortunate that we're in this kind of quagmire. The question I want to really ask again, because one just came to my mind and I think we're going to jog it back now, is that how are you going to rate the country at this time? General Muhammad Buhari is a friend and is somebody you hold in high esteem, and I'm sure he also hold you in high esteem. But looking at it in the last 7 years, we are now in the eve of an election year, and every post-election year is always years of anxiety, anticipation, and a lot of low and high emotion. So how are you going to rate General Buhari? Do you think it's going to end it in a resounding manner? It's going to end well?
I pray he does. I don't know how to put it because, one, I have very high respect for the general and present head of state. We worked together as very, very junior officers. We were in the same sector at a certain time during the Civil War. He's a gentleman. I will continue to say that. But somehow I think things ought to have been better. But I'm aware also that in a pluralistic society like Nigeria, it's not one man that takes a decision, but the headship has a great responsibility because everything stops on his desk. So I don't know. I don't know what is happening, but we are not getting the best signal that good things are happening, that the right things are happening. I don't know. It's like a situation where things just change and you don't know how the change came about.
Change for good or change for bad?
Whichever way it is. But we will always pray for bad change it to good. So I don't know, but things can change from good to bad and bad to good and vice versa and so on. And I believe even the situation we are now is rather unfortunate, but by the grace of Almighty God, it's a matter of years. It will change to good, but some damages will have been effected. That is the unfortunate aspect. Other than that, that is the situation.
Before I go to the political question of 2023, General Obasanjo, your former boss, said it the other time, I think in an interview a few days ago, that for the country to go forward, there's need for more rebels. I mean, people that could rebel, that could ask for change in a drastic way and all that. Do you share the same opinion with him, sir?
Honestly, I don't.
Why, sir?
Because in the process of rebel, innocent will be injured. In short, innocent will be affected. And people you have in mind may not be the people will be affected. So this is why I don't share but I can understand his anxiety. It's like when you have dirty water and you want clean water, what you want to do is to throw away the dirty water first. But that's slightly different from that. The moment you eliminate someone, he can come back. Okay. And then one ought to put down the criteria you need to use to eliminate such people. Otherwise, you will eliminate the good, the bad, the ugly, and so on. And it's after the effect now, or after the action, you start regretting. That is why otherwise I'm not saying that the basis of is arriving at that. I'm not saying it's faulty, but you at the end you may say sorry. It's just like the situation where the military went in, took over government from elected people, did few things. Another group of people came, sent them out, brought another set of people. We were changing government like we are changing handkerchiefs, and the desired hope had not been achieved.
This is what the President Obasanjo was saying. He said former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said solving the problems benefiting Nigeria will require rebels who would speak truth to power. He spoke on Sunday in Abeokuta, Ogun State, while unveiling the autobiography of the Baba Dini of Egbaland, Tayo Showumi, titled Footprint of a Rebel. Mr. Obasanjo added that having more rebels in the country at this time is the greatest step toward rebuilding Nigeria. The autobiography reviewed by Hafsat Abiola Costello, founder of Kudirat Initiative for Nigeria, was unveiled as part of the celebration of the 80th birthday of Mr. Showumi, a former activist and elder statesman. He now said, looking at the title of the book, I asked myself, why would someone call himself a rebel? But it is good, Obasanjo said. But the truth is that if you have to live a life of honesty and integrity, you have to become a rebel. There will be some time you will be asked, you have to do something, but you will say no, this is not right. And when you say that, you will become a rebel. You may even become a persona non grata. Our country, there is no country that we can call our own except Nigeria, our country. Nigeria needs more rebels. Those who will look at things straight in the face and say, this is not right, this I will not be part of, this is not good for Nigeria. That's what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying. That, I mean, there are some aspects that represent the truth. That doesn't matter whether I support it or I don't support it. But again, if you just eliminate people who are opposed to your opinion, then a situation will arise where you eliminate somebody you will otherwise not have liked to eliminate when you have opportunity to reflect in the future. That is to say, you've done something yesterday, you reflect today, then today you say, oh, if I had known. After all, there have been some people who have been executed that are years after records show that the purpose, the person you executed is not the man who did the wrong for which he was executed.
That's wrong discretion. Let me go to the moral aspect now. You are a former Minister of Police Affairs, and recently you saw what happened in the police, where we had at the top police corps, and somebody we call the super cops in the person of one DCP Abba Kyari was alleged to have relationship with a top famous globally renowned Yahoo boy called Abbas Igbalode, aka Hush Puppy, and they caught him that he had a deal with the Hush Puppy, a $1.1 million deal, defrauding a man in Oman, an educationist, and some other illicit affair. And the Police Service Commission said they should suspend him. He was on suspension. Then 2 weeks ago, General Marwa, who is in charge of the NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, caught some men in Enugu or something. And before we knew it, Abba Kyari came into the picture. Maybe his own men and the NDLEA caught those men. And when land, he came to start begging for them to be released, that they are even ready to sell 15 kg out of the 25 kg of the cocaine they got from them. to settle the case amicably and all that. And they caught him on camera. And today, as I'm talking to you now, Abba Kyari has been arrested by the NDLEA, is in their dungeon now, and there's in the process of court case. When you hear this kind of a thing, as a father of the nation and as a minister, one of the ministers who reformed the police during your time, how do you feel? And what do you think the police should have done? Because a lot of people said the police were lenient with him, that they didn't even fire him, that he was on suspension and was still working.
What's your question?
My question is that what Abba Kyari did, what does he say about the Nigerian police that you controlled at the time?
Anyway, if allegation against Kyari is put forward there,
the newspaper everywhere,
public domain, is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and I think the best government can do is to take firm decision after proper investigation must have been carried out. And if actually it did it, then let the law follow its course. It's a shame. It's unfortunate. It's embarrassing. It's as simple as that.
Because they said that the FBI are looking for him, somebody that the FBI declared wanted. Now the NDLEA in Nigeria also declared him wanted, and General Murthala have to leave his office to go to the police headquarters here to meet the IG and say, I need this guy, this is what he has done, because when they declared he wanted, it was nowhere to be found. So what does that say about morality, about intelligence gathering, about good policing?
All those are qualifications. The man has violated the Nigerian law, and it's almost, I don't know how to put it. First, he's a citizen. Second, he's a policeman. He's being paid by the country. In other words, he's using the protection of country in the process of his profession to protect his criminal activity. In other words, and the state, unknowingly thinking he's an honest man, is paying him for disobeying the state. So it's just that law is good, otherwise the best thing is to find out as quickly as possible and put him for life imprisonment. It's not necessary to kill him. You kill a man, you don't allow him possibility of a change. So, but life imprisonment. I'm expressing an opinion. I'm not saying the law says so.
Yeah, no, for denigrating, no, it's not a small opinion, sir. For denigrating the image of the police, denigrating the ethics of the police, and denigrating the image of Nigeria.
Yes.
In the presence of the global community.
Exactly. So, for him in that position, cocaine, which many people trace as the source of many of the maladies we have in the country, and you are in charge. You are protected. No, it's unpardonable.
Between the offense of cocaine and offense of Yahoo business, Yahoo transactions, because another thing they saw him doing was that he had pictures and dancing with some people of questionable character. Where the problem actually started was one big man they call Obi Kubana did the party in Oba in Anambra, and there was a lot of blowing of money in the air, abuse of the naira, the dollars, the pound sterling, and everything. And this guy was there. That's Abba Kyari. And another video emerged where he was in another party with one MC Ulomo in Lagos, a chief, a tout and NURT official that is so rich in Lagos, and so, and they saw him dancing, and he was dancing like a thug. And another video emerged recently in a club where he was dancing, and we're calling him a super cop that is the head of the IRT, Intelligence Response Unit of the Inspector General of Police. And you see him in a lot of funny association, funny environment. In fact, he even goes to the birthday of MC Oluomo to even cut cake with MC Oluomo. You know, all sort of funny kind of people. Then with Hush Puppy was even calling him from Dubai that he wanted me to arrest somebody, and you arrest the person and send the picture of the person in the cell to Hush Puppy, tell him that I don't catch him. We don't beat him, to collect money. Then after collecting money, they release the person, and in most cases we don't even know. They even kill some people. You know, so there are a lot of allegations hovering around his head. And I know you as a former police, I know what you stand for, sir. That this is not the kind of police you left in year 2000.
We've said everything. You understand? We as individuals, we're not the same. Maybe you are doing the job. I mean, people you've come in contact with know your worth, and they probably give you respect for what they think you represent. So you can always preach the ideal, but it's for people now to live in accordance with expectation. So the fact that you are good doesn't mean this man must be good. He ought to be good, really. But if he's not good, there's nothing you can do. Are we good here?
Yes, sir.
Now, the man, wherever he is now, he'll be thinking in his mind, he'll be regretting. But if he had been reasonable and he listened at the beginning, he won't face what he's facing. Okay? I mean, it's just that this country, we don't respect or we don't distinguish bad from good in most cases. Otherwise, I remember during the Civil War, I happened to be in a section where I give money away. It's government money as a soldier. And this was when we were to Onitsha. And one officer that I liked, I think he's gone now, he's dead now. He was to go to the rear, and he wanted a way by which he can give money out, and wanted me to approve some money because I happened to be the officer who could approve. And I told him, look, what do you want to use it for? He was going to the rear, and ordinarily when officers go to the rear, we try to encourage them to visit our soldiers who are hospitalized, who are injured and in hospital. A kind of welfare affairs. You visit them, where you can give £1 or £2. I just use it as a figure. And he wanted money like that. And I told him, look, I advise him what to do. Don't take the money that is meant for soldiers. Luckily, he listened. Okay. Now, I happen to be an officer myself. I didn't steal the money, and I didn't encourage an officer to take the money. So it depends.
You are morally okay, and you are able to ensure morality. Sector.
I was just doing what my mind tells me I ought to do. It's not a matter of preaching morality or anything. Yes. And of course, because I know if you do what is wrong and you are caught, you immediately almost start to regret it. If I had known. And in any case, there are certain places that you don't need much money than what is in your pocket. And so by grabbing more, you are exposing yourself.
What do you think the Police Service Commission needs to do to stop this kind of moral misdemeanor, whereby a top officer is seen fraternizing with a tout? I mean, going to parties with a tout, relating with a Yahoo boy, and even doing deal with drug people on the ground.
I think the drug is the most serious because number one, I have been asking people, what is Yahoo, by the way? Yahoo. I read it in the paper, but I don't know what does it mean.
Yahoo is what that guy wanted to do to you. That wanted to give you a jeep, and he's telling you to pay 250,000. If you have paid to his account, he will have blocked the line and he will have shown you. You will not be able to trace him again. Then Yahoo Plus is where they do rituals, and some of them use bread to eat sheets. Some of them do weird things like sitting on a tortoise or using the head of a woman to burn. A lot of things they do, cutting woman parts to do rituals. They call it Yahoo Plus. That when they speak to the Oyinbo abroad, the Oyinbo will give them more money. But the real Yahoo is that they talk to a white man, either in America, in London, in Croatia, in Germany, lie to them, maybe love scams. They tell them some lies, and those one keep sending money, and this money comes in dollars and pound sterling, and they change the money. They buy flashy cars. They engage in all sort of atrocities and all that. Enjoy themselves in hotels, sleep with big women, went with big yanshis, and lordship culture. So Yahoo is a culture of duping people in a very new dimension intellectually. So that's Yahoo. So the guy that was trying to give you a jeep, telling you that he worked with Boss Mustafa, that you should pay 250,000, is going to send the jeep to you. It was to Yahoo user.
Anyway, I'm not sure anybody can Yahoo me.
You like Yahoo the general. The Yahoo the general, what's his name? In prison, I think Adebende Yahoo him. What's that general? The one in the one that worked with Abacha. That famous general Bameyi, you know, it was Yahoo, and there are a lot of other generals that have been Yahooed. Some just after duping them, they die. Some just go shamefully, quietly, and they just make it up. So in your own case, if he has done it with 250,000 and you played along and you paid him, maybe they will have come to another project and tell you that it's millions this time around. They show you the place. They might even make it look as if it's their own environment, and before you know it, you've paid them some money. That's Yahoo.
All right. Thank you for the lecture. Oh, God.
So I was talking about Abba Kyari that's doing things with Yahoo and doing drugs and socializing with touts.
And a senior police officer.
Yes, sir. Very senior police officer.
Some partner. I hope you are not late for your airport.
No, I'm not late. Sir.
Okay.
I want to ask the question. Next question is that you saw that Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been going around soliciting for presidential votes in 2023. He's the former governor of Lagos State, and they say he's the national chairman. Okay, yeah, national chairman of the ruling party. The leader, national leader. Sorry, not national chairman, national leader of APC. He has gone to visit General Babangida. He's gone to visit the Oba of Egbaland, the Awujale, the Akarigboremo, the Olu of Ilaro, and recently was the Olubadon, then it was the Alaafin of Oyo. Sir, I'm asking, has he not come to your own house as a power block in Okunland, sir, to come and visit you, to tell you that you want to be president, sir?